Moving to Portland, Oregon, not sure where to move? Stay tuned to the 5 best neighborhoods to live in Portland, Oregon. Here we go.
We hit on 2 great neighborhoods in the Northwest, so I'm going to take us over to the Southeast quadrant. One of my other top choices in Portland, Ladd's Addition.
One of my favorite neighborhoods.
It's so special. It was built in the, I should say planned, because it's really Portland's first, one of the West Coast's first master plan communities. And when you hear that, you think like cookie cutter subdivision, but not Ladd's Addition. It is beautiful old craftsman style homes, big, large, I mean, almost are there like Victorian homes in there?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's built on a grid, so there are these rose garden circles throughout Ladd's Addition, and then the streets kind of spoke out from there.
Yeah, it's actually a circle grid, not your traditional horizontal vertical grid. It's really, really neat. And in fact, we did a full other neighborhood video just on Ladd's Addition that you can check out here on my page. And go ahead and click subscribe and like this video, and you can be notified of other great neighborhood videos as they come up.
Yeah, so in that one you can see us walking through the rose garden and walking through those just tree-lined streets with like huge oak trees and those big beautiful homes with the porches and the front yards. Just a very wholesome neighborhood feeling. But I think one of the great things about it, so it's very residential, it's right close in Southeast, but it's right off of Hawthorne, a lot of shops, bakeries. So let's go over to Northwest Hills. So above the Pearl District, above Alphabet District, the homes in the hills bordering on Forest Park are so beautiful. I used to go on stair walks through that neighborhood. It's very hilly, a lot of views of the city, big, beautiful, older homes. I don't know, what do you think of that area?
I love it. I mean, that area is so beautiful. The hills, kind of on hillside living with views, but being still very close to downtown. I think that could be a great option. You know, there's not most of the yards are going to be very small or hillside. So that goes with the territory, but I love that area.
And then one of your top picks is right nearby. So, right?
You're talking about NOB Hill?
NOB Hill.
NOB Hill. Okay, if you want that downtown experience, I mean, this is like downtown. You know, it's Pearl District adjacent. Pearl District, if you want to be right in downtown, that's the Pearl District that you want to live in. But just to the west of that is NOB Hill. It's a lot more neighborhoody, if you will. I love that word, just put an IE at the end. Makes it sound more friendly and cozy. There's some great parks there. You get old people, young people, middle-aged people, family people, kids. It's just a real diverse neighborhood. And you'll get a lot of older buildings in that neighborhood. There's some great apartment choices, 100-year-old apartment buildings, all brick. And then you can get a lot of bungalows and new builds in there as well, where they've knocked down the older homes. And I really love this neighborhood. If you want to live downtown, walkability score is like 100.
Yeah, I mean, 23rd Avenue in the Alphabet District is right in that area. And to me, if you're coming from like the Bay Area, 23rd Avenue feels like Pacific Heights, or one of those neighborhoods right in San Francisco that has all the shops and the restaurants and the bars, and then the apartments off of that area are like multiplexes, but a lot of like maybe 12 unit, 24 unit, wouldn't you say, kind of buildings. So Northwest Hills that I mentioned, those are some pretty expensive homes, right? Both of these areas. Do you have any sort of estimate of like, what do you think price wise? Oh, actually, you did a NOB Hill video, so we could put it in the
I did do a NOB Hill video. Yeah, I'll put a link down there in the in the show notes. You can also click subscribe and you'll get notifications of other videos, neighborhood videos, as I put them out. Prices really do vary in Nob Hill area, but your median price is probably really going to be around $1 million.
Just to set the scene for you, it's Halloween, so these spider webs behind me are not real.
Ooh, there's a good spooky one. Check this out.
Our daughter would love all those little witches.
Yeah. Our daughter is almost 4 years old, and she's just that age where she is really getting into Halloween this year and wants to be a little scared, but not too scared.
The better.
Yeah.
but doesn't want to go trick-or-treating at any real haunted houses,
Yeah.
she told us.
She said she just wants to go trick-or-treating at the nice houses, so.
Meaning like friendly.
Right. All right, another neighborhood that we really love is Irvington. Where is that one located?
So now we're in the northeast quadrant. Irvington is full of older, again, historical homes. There's something, like, to me, very elegant and refined about Irvington. It has just this older sophistication to that neighborhood, but it's right in the pocket with some hipper neighborhoods also in the northeast. So Alberta, Boise, with a lot of shops, bars, restaurants, very creative, artistic core of Portland.
A lot of pride of ownership in this neighborhood as well. You're within 5 minutes to everything you're going to want to do downtown, 5-10 minutes from there. There's lots of walkability. Is going to be very high, not as high as if you were in Nob Hill, but lots of local, like little neighborhoody, coffee shops, stuff like that. You're going to have at least 1 or 2 walkable to your neighborhood. Plus the parks down there is really what makes that whole area, is these huge city block type parks. And you get a whole diverse group of people, whether it's families or single people. You're going to get a lot of different variety there.
Totally agree.
Okay, so this takes you to our number 1 neighborhood. What is it?
Lake Oswego.
And that's right where we are right now. And we saved this best shot for last to kind of we're walking over this little footbridge right now. And I'm gonna pan the camera around so you can kind of check out. We are on one of the canals here in Lake Oswego. And this connects to the lake, which is a private lake. You gotta be a resident here. There's only about 3,000 houses with access. And there's a lot of ins and outs. So if this is somewhere you wanna live, definitely reach out to me. Give me a call. My number's right down there in the description, and I can talk about it a little bit more. So, Lake Oswego is its own city.
One of my favorite things about it, I think, because it's a small town feel within a big city, but it has its own, town center and the school district, the city services, all of that is part of the city of Lake Oswego. And one of my other most favorite things about it is that it's on the border of the city of Portland. We can get into the city of Portland very quickly, 15-20 minutes. And on the other border is just rolling farmland and vineyards and beautiful countryside. And so I really feel like it's the best of both worlds.
I'd have to agree 100%. That's one of just the natural beauty that you have here. I mean, look behind us. I mean, it's gorgeous here. And even if you don't live on the lake, you have access to see it, to view it, to walk on the footbridges. And you have the Willamette River on the eastern edge of Lake Oswego, which is amazing. I mean, people come from all over the city just to use the Willamette and access to some of the beaches on holidays, 4th of July. That place gets really crowded. Other times of year, most of these parks, there's not a lot of people there, so you get a lot of sense of space here, which I didn't expect, when we moved here. But it was just kind of a nice little bonus that, listen how quiet it is here. I mean, you hear a worker, behind us, someone's doing some work to one of their yards back here, a little hammering. But other than that, I mean, it's so peaceful.
Sometimes our daughter will get up in the morning and say, wow,
why is it so quiet? Because you just don't hear anything, in our house or out in our yard.
Right.
And I'm someone who, when we first moved up to the Portland area, I had lived here about a decade ago in the Northeast. And when we were moving up, I was honestly conflicted about whether I wanted to be in Portland or out here in, the quote unquote suburbs. Very conflicted because I like that walkability. I like all of the amenities of being in the city. But I have been so surprised by how much I love it here. And just this last weekend, we were in the city or over in Multnomah Village, a neighborhood that I also love. But as we were driving back into Lake Oswego, I said to Aaron, as we get further and further into Lake Oswego, I just feel better and better. I really do love it here.
Yeah, there definitely is this sense of coziness here, especially once you get to know the town and the neighborhoods. And I suspect that's probably pretty much for anywhere you live, but the crime rate here is also extremely low. It's an extremely safe city and place to live. There's very, very low crime. We have our own police departments, fire departments, our own mayor. There's a very active arts community here, as well as a local small business community as well to supporting that. And I think that trickles down to the everyday life.
So another great thing about this community, the school district is one of the best in the state. That also brings a pride of town. People move here for the schools. It's very family oriented.
That's right. And you can't forget the parks. And that's something that Brian was talking about earlier. There's close to 30 parks here in Lake Oswego. And so if you love the outdoors, just straddling that countryside to the city, that's another great reason to love Lake Oswego. Maybe it's a great option for you.
We've done other Lake Oswego videos, so I think, like you mentioned, check out all the other videos below. And if you're moving to Portland from out of state, somewhere else, reach out to Aaron and do a driving tour of some of the different neighborhoods in the city so that you can really get a sense of the right pocket for you. I think that's something that's so fun, is to find people the neighborhood that they're gonna call home.
We have people reaching out to us all the time, so please just give me a call and I'd be happy to answer any questions, set up a virtual tour of some neighborhoods, and even set up a tour in person as well.